Hello, nerds. Welcome to the Geek Beast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news from geeks like you and geeks like my man to the side here. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people? Why don't you introduce yourself to the
What?
people?
Can I do that? What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing
My
well.
name
Hi.
my name is Mr. Benja, and we're gonna work all this out. We don't have timing because we haven't done this in a bit, but we're about to do it.
Tell them what you do, Mr. Benja. Let the people know why
Uh,
you on the show, why you a geek, why you a geek supreme over here. Let them
so
know. Let them
Supreme,
know.
I don't even claim the term geek like that, but I
Whatever.
suppose
That's what geeks say, you
I
guys.
suppose I collected comic books as a kid. I had my own video game rental service in high school that I got in trouble for. Uh, I started making video games in middle school. I don't know. Worked at Rockstar Games, Sony Santa Monica. Went to art galleries, and now I just sit around on the internet and talk noise. That
That's
that's
very geeky of you to sit on the
I,
internet and talk noise.
if you
Isn't
say
it
so,
like low?
I'll.
Uh-huh. What were you gonna say?
I said no. If you say so, if that's the label, I'll take it. I'm on the
Own
Geekish
it,
Network.
own it,
I'm all
own
about
it. I've read comic books. I've rented out my video games. I also started game development when I was in middle school, and I was worked at Rockstar. Y'all see that? That's a humble flex there. Tell the people what you did at Rockstar. Tell the people what you did at Rockstar.
Um, well, I was actually a programmer at 3DO before I went to Rockstar, and they hired me there as a designer. And I ended up being the lead designer for table tennis. And with my technical knowledge and my design knowledge, we put together basically a one-shot game at Rockstar, which is a really small title that they kind of weren't sure was ever going to make it out, but we put it out, and it was I don't want to say a tech demo, but it allowed us to create the Rockstar Advanced Gaming Engine, the Rage engine you probably heard about. That was the first test bed for that, and it became such a thing that it was like, yo, let's get out on the Xbox 360, make a first game with this.
Hmm.
Let's blaze some new trails, try some new things out. And I was like, let's go. And history.
See what I'm saying? And you also were in the video game.
That is true. Yes. Literally.
What game
Shout
was
out to
that?
Red Dead Redemption. My character model is actually in the game, and my name is actually somewhere else in the game. Um, that's I had such a great relationship with the 3D artist Ted Bradshaw, Raphael Phillips, Raph, and
Hmm.
Marcellus Barnes. Yeah, I had such a great relationship with them. One day, actually, just a really quick thing. One day, we're sitting around, everybody's working, and I'm like, I'll get the update of the game tomorrow. I don't feel like getting it tonight. I'm just gonna finish working. And then all of a sudden, my friend Jeff, he stands up. He's like 3 or 4 cubicles away. He stands up. Yo, I just shot Benji in the face. And I'm like, what? And everybody starts laughing. They're like, yep, yep. I hog tied him to a train. I'm like, the hell y'all talking about? Little did I know, my model was in the game suddenly. So thanks to Marcellus for getting me ganked in the
Yep,
game.
yep. You've been breaking color barriers in Western games. Probably the first black person in a Western video game.
And I did it with the top hat.
Oh, see, that's even crazier. See, that's what I'm talking about. With class. With class. Speaking of gaming, let's get into some gaming news real quick.
Go.
So there's a huge PlayStation Now changes coming to us very soon. It looks like the huge PlayStation Now changes are imminent and possibly huge changes to PlayStation Plus as well. There have been rumors for months PlayStation Spartacus, a new PlayStation subscription service, will replace PlayStation Now. There will be a shuttle bud of combined PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus coming together to form something that can actually go against PlayStation Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. Does this make you excited? Are you going to pay the extra money to get a PS5 now?
Ah, no, I don't think so. I mean, I'm waiting on pure. I don't want any more consoles. I just want wherever I go, whip out a controller or my iPhone or whatever and play whatever I want. Um, I don't know how close we are to that, but I'm not getting
Mm,
a PS5.
okay, okay. I mean, Xbox says you can play everywhere you want to play. You play with your phone, play with your tablets, play on. They almost had you playing on Nintendo Switch if you wanted to. Nintendo
Yeah, yeah.
killed it. They're like, "Oh, you gonna let us put our Xbox Live app on your Switch?" And then
Wait a
PlayStation's like,
minute.
"Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that." And Nintendo was like, "Hey, second thought, we're not gonna do that." So maybe PlayStation's gonna allow you to play everywhere, all the
It,
PlayStation Classic games. But
it's an
Xbox already has that service now. Amazon's tickling with that service, and Google Stadia kind of failed with the service. It's still alive, but it's not the same.
yeah.
Cloud
So I mean,
computing. Mhm.
that's
Right?
interesting. Is I mean, are we done with consoles now? I mean, maybe I'm just living my own little fever dream here, but uh, how many more consoles do we need?
That's the question, right? I think we're done with consoles. I think we probably have one or two left in us, generations in us, just to get people that don't have consoles in their house. But Microsoft came out with Halo Infinite and said, "Hey, you can play this thing back all the way to an Xbox One. So you got the first Xbox, you can actually play this."
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, that's cloud computing, baby. They do it all through the cloud. They download 12 gigs to your hard drive, and the rest of the game is online.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so I think we're one step closer, one step closer. But it's gonna be harder, right? Because as graphics constantly improve and games start looking like the Mandalorian, you're gonna need faster networks to move all that information across to a console. And people don't want wired connections anymore. Everything has to be wireless.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like the axes keep going like this. You need better graphic fidelity, but we want to play it on smaller and lesser devices at the same time. It's really gonna be interesting how that
You know,
intersects eventually.
you know what? When I was in college, I actually did a paper on real-time radiosity, and
Hmm.
the basic thing behind that is we wanted to figure out, well, how can we basically take the idea of vectors. So if you don't know, Photoshop is like raster images where you have every pixel planned out,
Hmm.
and then you have vectors, which are just mathematical equations that lead into a image. Now, if we take that idea and do 3D vectorization of everything, can we just send math equations down to the person's computer so they won't have to worry about sending over all these graphic images, all these movies, all these textures? That's what's
Interesting.
clogging everything up.
Yeah.
So 3D vectorization could change the game in a big way, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that would change the game in a big way, actually. Wow. That's the geekiest thing I've heard in a long time. That's particularly on this show.
I'm a beast with it.
You are. I see. I see. Continuing on the gaming stride, Netflix is launching a daily trivia series called Trivia Quest. I swear I saw a Trivia Quest T-shirt at GDC.
Hmm.
So much like the interactive series by the Black Mirror crew, Bandersnatch, Netflix called that, which is called Cat Burglar. I tell everybody to play Cat Burglar. It's an old school cartoon where you're playing trivia. You have to answer three questions successfully to see the best outcome for the cat.
Hmm.
So with Trivia Quest is a narrative interactive experience, meaning each win will help move the story along. So every win you make every day moves the story along. For Trivia Quest, correctly answering the game questions will also help free the friends of the protagonist, Willie, who vows to save hostage citizens of Trivia Land, captured by the knowledge hungry villain named Evil Rocky. Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
A new episode of
All
Trivia
right.
Quest will hit the service every day through April with 30 episodes in total.
All right. I'm calling a fail on this.
You can call the fail line it?
Yeah. See, it sounds too
Hmm.
much like edutainment. And if you have edutainment and then entertainment or intereducation, whatever you want to call it, you got to put the entertainment first. And what I'm hearing from this, like Trivia Quest, Evil Rocky, Trivia Land, you know, Cat Burglar. I mean, what? Come on, man. You can do better than this. And I just know this is coming from marketing or education minded people. So wish it
Yeah.
the best, but we'll
Well,
see.
that's the character. So Trivia Quest is an actual trivia game that's online that people play. But I don't know how many users it has. It may be a big one. It may be as big as Jackbox, but Jackbox is different. You play with people with Jackbox. And Cat Burglar is okay. Would I go back and visit it? No. But I'm not one that's really big in quiz games, so I don't know unless I'm with some other players playing next to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you get into Wordle?
I don't get into Wordle. I have not
You know,
jumped on that bandwagon. I've heard really interesting things about Wordle.
I mean, the community is out there. They're big, and now that times have changed, maybe more people are into puzzles and gaming at the same time. So this could be a market that people could jump into.
That could be true. True. I guess I'm going to jump into some hardcore news, right? So we have all these sanctions against Russia. Everybody, EA's pulled the Russian team and players out of the game, and people said they're not selling products to Russia anymore. Now it looks like Russia's like, okay, you're not going to allow the products, you're going to sanction us. Now let products come in America. Y'all trying to disrespect us. We're going to stop selling rocket engines to the United States. So today, this is what it said from Rogazon. Today, we have made a decision to halt the deliveries of rocket engines produced by MPO and Nergamash to the United States. So one of Russia's biggest rocket developers, who probably makes a lot of rockets for the United States, has decided, you know what? Since you're not going to bring allow those hostess cakes come to Russia anymore, we're going to stop selling you rockets.
Hmm.
And this is what he said in his quote too. Let them fly on something else. They're broomsticks. I don't know what they're going to be on.
Yo, if they've got the market locked down that much where they're talking that kind of trash, that's kind of crazy. I
Yep.
don't know.
So this is who they make rockets for. United Launch Alliance, which is the key launch provider for NASA and the U.S. Department of Defense and Northrop Grumman, and which periodically launches cargo to the International Space Station for NASA.
How
So it
long
is
has
a
this been
Russian
going on?
company that provides all the rockets to get us around. They also have a joint venture with Boeing and Lockheed Martin, which are the two number one defense contractors in the United States.
Hmm,
So this
that
is going to be
sucks.
very interesting.
I'm over here upset that the avocados almost got banned in California, and we
Uh-huh.
talking about real stuff like rockets. I mean,
Rockets getting banned. So they're like, we're not gonna give you rockets anymore. Jeff Bezos can't fly with Blue Origin no more because they make the rockets with Blue Origin. Now, I wonder if they do it for SpaceX. I'm wondering. I
who else makes
mean,
rockets?
I don't know. Tesla's about to start doing it, I bet.
Hey, there you go.
I'm about to put my
Elon
stock in
Musk is
Tesla.
already in the game. Elon Musk has got his what does he call it? The Link, Starlink satellites.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Starlink providing Ukraine with Wi-Fi. So, uh, props to Elon for doing that.
Yep. Yep. Now we're gonna get some more domestic news. McDonald's is being sued for $900 million. Guess what they're getting sued for?
Oh my gosh. Did somebody actually find a bone in a McRib? What happened?
Find a bone in the McRib. No, they didn't find a bone in the McRib. I think people would be celebrating that. I think they would celebrate that. No, so for $900 million, they're getting sued over having broken ice cream machines. McDonald's is being sued for $900 million by a
Oh
company
man.
that created a product to fix the fast food chain's infamous broken ice cream machines. The startup business called a Keech, I think it's called Keech, created a device to help troubleshoot the ice cream machines and sold it to make 500 of McDonald's restaurants. But as reported by Wire, McDonald's bosses allegedly ordered these devices removed in November 2020.
You know,
So that's crazy. So the company said, "Look, your ice cream machines are always broken. We found a way to troubleshoot it and fix it." McDonald's bought the pieces and said, "No, we're not going to use them because it
there's a
costs more
documentary on this.
money to clean the ice cream machine than it does to fix people ice cream." That's what the real reason is.
Yeah. There was a whole documentary on it, which is comedy, and I actually watched it and I was entertained because it's so many weird connections of, well, there's the guy who makes the lever and they were just using him as a cover up because they really don't want to fix the ice cream machines. They just want to have ice cream machines so people keep coming by.
And get wanting ice cream but can't get it, so they order the Happy Meal instead or get the shake.
Yeah, it's a whole conspiracy. It's great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Kudos to McDonald's. for
That's
luring
gangster.
people into their restaurant for ice cream that's like 89 cents and then selling them a $5 Happy Meal. That's one hell of a markup.
That happened to me at an Italian restaurant in Italy. My mom took me there, and they brought us in. They're like, "Yeah, yeah, come on, we got the calzones, and calzones is great." We sit down, no calzones. Here's some spaghetti. I'm like, "Look, man, we already paid for this. Like, hey, just sit down and eat the spaghetti." Like, you said calzones,
They
gangster,
upsold you on the spaghetti. That's an upsell.
gangster.
That's gangster. Well, McDonald's has been doing it for decades now. For decades. Speaking of things that are changing, continually changing, Apple's starting to remove mask requirements for its workers. First of all, you're bringing everybody back into the office. They said it's still unclear when Apple plans to fully reopen its offices, but they're having people come in. They're like, we spent like $10 billion on this building. We need people up in it.
Yeah.
Now they're like, you know what? We're going to remove the mask mandate. Let people come in and risk it all for the job. What do you think about that?
Um, hey, man, I'm all about going back to work, seeing people in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, Apple's got that big circle that they call a
Mm-hmm.
building, and that's
The
pretty
fly off.
fascinating. So
It
yeah,
is.
exactly. So I don't know. I don't know why people would want to be away from that. Maybe there's something else toxic going on that I don't know about. But apparently,
Yeah.
it's really well ventilated. So I think safety concerns can be minimized, and people know how to work safely. Yeah, I'm for going back to work.
Nice. Yeah, I'm for going back to work. I just want people to be safe. Tell people they don't have to wear masks, but it's in their best interest to do so. And be
Yeah,
willing to shut the place down when people start dropping off because they all got COVID.
yeah,
They gotta be willing to do that as well.
and nobody over there is listening to Joe Rogan on Spotify. They all have to have Apple Music, so it's
Yeah, yeah, they're not
Apple
listening to Joe
Podcast.
Rogan at all. They're not listening to Joe Rogan at all. And he's not on Apple Podcast. So they're safe
Exactly.
from that. Speaking of another tech company, Rivian, the company that makes that actual Cybertruck, they actually released a Cybertruck. Rivian apologized for broken trust and Axis pre-order prices increases that hit as much as 20K. So Rivian came out, told everybody put $1,000 down, you get your truck. And people put the $1,000 down with a set price they thought they were going to pay for the truck and the pre-orders. Then they turn around and jack the price up to $20,000 from the original quote.
See, that's one of those subtle gangster moves,
It is.
where you're just like, "Hey, I'm gonna charge you all this," and people are like, "Okay," and I'm gonna charge you more, and then they get mad, and then you bring it down a little bit, and they're like, "Okay," but they still got you, right? They
Yeah.
apologize and they still got you.
Yeah.
So
They said, hmm they said they honored the original price. So they said we'll honor the original configure price for all pre-orders placed prior to March 1st.
okay,
All people, that
uh,
means everybody that bought one earlier has a
yeah,
vehicle that can sell for $20,000 more than what they paid for it. Man,
that's
that's really interesting.
yeah. So Rivian coming up trying to compete with the Tesla and the Cybertruck. All right, props to them.
Even people who have canceled their pre-orders due to changes will apparently be able to get back in line if they're still interested. And the reactions on social media suggest many are.
See,
I think
that
the Rivian is a very interesting product. I think it may be well worth it. I don't know. I'm also in the market for electrical truck vehicle, and I'm just betting on the Cybertruck. I'm betting on the tank that kills zombies and rolls them over the top.
yeah, with that smooth finish, all the bones and cartilage are just gonna slide off the front of the
Slide off.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
smooth,
I,
baby.
I need the bulletproof glass and I need the unibody in case I roll it down the hill. You never
That's
know.
right.
Okay. Are you familiar with the artist Flying Lotus? Steven Ellison? Steve?
Vaguely.
Okay. We know he makes electric music. He's
Hmm.
multidisciplinary. He has just signed the multi-picture development deal to produce and direct a slate of upcoming films with Paris-based Logical Pictures at XYZ.
What?
Hey, I guess that's what you do. You go from musician to filmmaker. I mean, he's like, hey. So Ellison has amassed a circle of noteworthy collaborators in recent years, including the likes of David Lynch for Twin Peaks: The Return, Alma Harrell for Love Truly, Hiro Murai for Atlanta and Station 11, and Shinichiro Watanabe for Cowboy Bebop, Curl and Tuesday, and LaShawn Thomas, who's the homie, right? And
Hmm.
working with on Yasuke like he Stansfield. So I guess you knowing the right people can cut you that deal. Now he's making pictures and he's actually gonna make 6 films.
Oh,
Multi-picture
six.
deal. Yep.
Huh. All right. So to me, you've got one of two things happening. You've either got a guy who's really connected and everybody likes him. They're like, hey, I got this guy. I like him. We like him. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we like him. We both like him. Everybody likes him.
Mm-hmm.
Or dude's actually really good. And they're like, yo, dude is actually really good at this stuff. You need to get on it. I'm assuming it's
Mm-hmm.
some combination of the two, but I don't know Flying Lotus like that. Well, what do you think?
I listen to a lot of Flying Lotus, and he does like science fiction. He has
Hmm.
Thundercat on board. He has his it's so Brain Feeder is his record label. Now he has Brain Feeder Films as well.
Okay.
So the fact that they're gonna finance a multiple horror, thriller, and science fiction projects, I find it kind of interesting because I want to know if he can do it or not, or has he had the other right collaborators working with
I wonder if they're like, well, Kanye can do all this stuff. Why can't you? And
him.
so I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder. But he has some interesting music video directors on some of
Hmm.
his sets, and they're amazing. Like you can see him, like Shinichiro actually worked with him as well. But he's worked on some amazing videos, like Khalil Gibran, right?
Hmm.
Khalil,
Mm.
what's Khalil's last name? Davis or what's Khalil's? And Khalil did Lemonade for Beyonce. So he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
hey, I got these people that are going to help me, you guys. Don't worry about the money. I got these geniuses that never make movies, and we're going to make something super, super dope. Khalil Joseph. So
Okay.
I wonder if he works with him because trust me, Flying Lotus has some of the best artistic music videos I've ever seen. And I don't know if it's his eyes or his director's eyes, but they always come out really good. And he works with Khalil Joseph, and I love Khalil, and I wish Khalil would make a movie.
Well, I mean, when you have that person who just, even if they're not creative themselves or can't do
Hmm.
something themselves, if they just bring people together, then that's worth a lot. So props.
Yep. All kinds of I get props to all kinds of people. So for example, Brandon Sanderson started a Kickstarter, and guess what? He made raised 15 million on the first day. 15
Dang.
million on Kickstarter for four secret novels. Four secret so Sanders launched a Kickstarter fundraise for four secret novels that he secretly wrote over the past 2 years. The campaign, surprise, four secret novels by Brandon Sanderson, run by parent company Dragonsteel Entertainment, brought in more than $15 million for the first day. I don't think that's ever happened on Kickstarter. I don't think people make that type of money on selling books on Kickstarter. And I buy a lot of Kickstarter stuff.
I mean, yeah, I haven't seen this either. I mean, that's pretty. That's pretty. Once again, it's gangster. It's like, hey,
It is.
you don't even know what it is. But I got four of them, and they're all secret. So, you should hit that backing button.
Yeah, going to back me. I'm kind of curious to see what this Kickstarter is. You get four of them gold embezzled books for $2,000. I wonder, but he's made four novels over the last 2 years. He's on his definitely Stephen King level of writing, doing four novels in 2 years. And congratulations to him. Bravo. It makes me want to get out there and write some books and put them on Kickstarter. And so I wrote four novels in the last month.
Hey,
Oh,
don't put any titles on them. Don't put any pictures out.
nothing,
Just be like,
nothing.
look, because if you put out a title or something like, mm, the winds of which farm, I don't know. I don't like the name of that. I'm not but getting it. So
Yeah.
secret.
He has a reputation too, right? Sanderson's penned numerous series and creative, fantastical worlds, notably Mistborn and the Stormlight Archive, both set in the world of Cosmere universe, and finished Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series. So he finished Wheel of Time too. So he has a history of writing good books. but still, you banking 4 novels and you made $15 million. That's probably more than his publishing deal would have gave him.
Hmm.
It's
You like Wheel of
impressive.
Time?
I did like Wheel of Time. It was we
Okay.
reviewed it for Ashley Bingeworthy. I'm glad you brought that up. We talked about it in Bingeworthy, and we rated it pretty high. I liked the show. I haven't read the book Wheel of Time, but I did
Okay.
like it. I like the
I
series because it showed empowered women.
yes, yes, it did. I
Yeah.
actually didn't make it through. I'm one of those you gotta get me in the first couple episodes or I'm done with you kind of people.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so it didn't get me right away, and I was just
Nah.
like off.
Nah. But usually by episode 3 or 4 of it gets good. It's not gonna get you in the first 2 episodes. First 2 episodes, you end up hating like the main characters. You end up hating
Yeah,
all of them initially. It's tough. One of the
yeah,
first character I liked in the first couple episodes was the black guy that was going around killing all the witches.
yeah. What was that? There was a show on Netflix. It was like a church, and there was a horror kind of theme to it with evil characters running around an island, and I people kept telling me, "Oh, it gets good, dog. It gets good." And like in the last half of the last episode, it started getting quote unquote good. And regardless of the quality, I was mad at it because it took that long to get good.
Yeah. In the world today, you got to get good by the first or second episode.
Give me that
Unless you're
attack on.
Star Wars or you're Marvel, then we hang in there for you.
Yeah, you need that attack on Titan first episode. That's what I need.
Yeah, you need that. Yeah. Speaking of Attack on Titan and
Mm,
anime studios, you know, uh Mappa, the company that made the last 2 seasons, Attack on Titan, the final season, they're definitely known for Jujutsu Kaisen. If you haven't seen that, it gets good straight from the jump too. They opened an Osaka-based CGI studio. So they're leaning all the way in on CGI. So anime studio Mappa, who is known for producing hits like Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Yuri on Ice, now have revealed we have a whole new studio opening up, and it's for CGI animation. The expansion facilities working with animators in Osaka will work side by side with Mappa brand names in Tokyo studio as well. So they're a Tokyo studio. They have a studio in Sendai as well. CGI department. Man, this has me super excited. They made the same jump as Trigger. Trigger did it too. So Trigger was like, "Hey, we're gonna get in the CGI 3D world, and we're gonna go crazy with the camera." And that's what Trigger did. Then they came out with
yeah.
Promare, and they came out with a bunch of other things. But when they blend both of those worlds together, sometimes it's always magic. What are your thoughts of
Mhm.
that? Japanese anime going up full CGI.
Um, cautiously optimistic. I'm expecting to
Mm,
see some bumps in the road. People trying out things they probably shouldn't be trying. Uh, but I like the idea of it, and I say that because I actually played. My nephew was really big on the Naruto games,
hmm
and just playing those and watching through that whole story play out. I was like, you know what, this could kind of work, and because
mm,
it's very cinematic, and they go through a lot of story in the Naruto games,
hmm
Ninja Storm and stuff like that. So I'm optimistic. I want to see what people do in actual movie or
Yeah.
series situations.
Yeah, seeing anime studios play in the 3D world is very interesting. Like Batman Ninja, it's
Hmm.
beautiful. The story is nuts, but it's beautiful. I tell everybody, if you haven't watched Batman Ninja, watch it. It's an acid trip of a Batman story. It's an acid trip. You can watch it on HBO Max. Uh, Jujutsu Kaisen, which I think is like the greatest anime in 2022, one of the greatest animes of all time, is on HBO Max
Really?
too. It's amazing. I put it over Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is really good. I put it over Attack on Titan. I put it over top of Kill La Kill. And I'm an anime nut. And I'm like, man, Jujutsu Kaisen just does everything right. They gave me two of the most innovative fight scenes I've ever seen in anything.
Okay. See, I
Anything.
got I got to go back and watch Jujutsu Kaisen some more, and I gotta I gotta get through Demon Slayer because it started off a little slow, and I did
It's
the
slow.
okay. I'll get to
It's
it.
slow.
Yeah, because those two I just started on and didn't really connect with. I think I need to give
hmm
them some more time though, because
Yeah.
I'm a hater right off the bat. And I need to chill with it.
That's okay. You can be a hater out the bat. You can be a hater out the bat, but I guess, I got want to get out one more story because I think the stories we're getting out. Marvel to cut a deal out for George R. R. Martin's Wild Card comics. The publisher is set to release a comic adaptation of Wild Cards, George R. R. Martin's long-running superhero anthology series. The collection of 25 books, which began in 1987, including short stories, full-blown novels, and more, written by science fiction and fantasy writers, luminaries such as Roger Zellerman, Charles Stross, Saladin Ahmad, and, of course, Martin himself. Are you going to collect those comics? Are you going to grab those? Are you going to grab these?
I don't really rock with comics, like, I mean, collecting them and following them
Mm-hmm.
like that. Usually I come in and sample, and then just check out the live thing later if I know it's going in that direction. But this is interesting stuff, man. And Marvel is usually thinking pretty far out. At least recently, they've been
Yeah.
thinking very long term. So I like this idea, the whole history of, you know, people working with Game of Thrones and then working with Disney slash Star Wars. We're wondering what's happening with these people. So there's
Mm-hmm.
been a lot of stuff that's kind of happening in the background. I'm wondering what that bubbles into, say, 6, 7 years from now. And
Yeah.
this series is pretty interesting, and it might be something that's totally worth checking out the comic adaptation of. So I might, I'm going to write
Yeah.
this one down as check out.
Yeah. And if you don't want to read the books, they're actually not only working on the comic adaptation, they got a TV adaptation coming on Peacock. So they're gonna be streaming it. So
Peacock.
Universal snatched it up.
Goodness.
It was over at Hulu initially, and
Uh,
it got dropped. Now Peacock is picking it up.
See, I had to cut back on my streaming services. I can't be
hmm
like you. I can't be like you, Chuck. I don't know how you do it. I
I'm
get I
part
get
of a
my
TV.
I
Go
get my
ahead. Go ahead.
ADD I get my ADD going on, and I'm like, hey, what's on this? Oh gosh, this is leaving in a week. I got to binge the whole series, whole 5 seasons in one week. I can do it. And I just start jumping around. So I had to chill
Mm,
out, and now I kind of do one at a time, and I need help.
yeah. I let everything stack up and I binge it. I mean, we have a show called Binge Worthy, and people
I
are like, "Have
love
you
it.
started the new show for Wednesday?" Like, nah, I'll start on Friday. I'll be done by Saturday morning. And
Yeah,
usually the whole entire show Friday night. I go to like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and I binge the whole entire show.
that
It's
actually takes practice.
it does. It's a skill. It's a skill. It's a talent I've learned. I don't go out on Friday. I watch TV shows. Watch
Nice.
whole entire TV shows, just episode to episode. Boom, 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 boom. I wake up and I see the sun coming up. Like I'm gonna go take a nap right now and come back and finish that last episode.
That's right. Get your Grubhub on.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, with that being said, that concludes our show for today. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Digital Click because they always provide us with good marketing materials and framework. Shout out to Rodney, the being a cloud in the sky. He does great production work, holds it down. One of the co-founders of the Geekish Network. He actually invited Mr. Benja to the show today. And most importantly, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Benja. Thank you for coming on the show today, brother. It's been a while.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. I'm always out doing my thing. MrBenja.com is where you can find me.
hmm
Um, I try to put all my links there. It's kind of janky because I just redid it, but hey, go there and show me some hate. Let me know what I should fix.
Yeah. He also does dope fine art, people. He makes dope fine art. I'm just gonna tell you that. It's usually video game based, but it's dope. He's probably doing
Yeah.
all kinds of other things as well right now.
Yeah, I'm writing a book.
Yep. And he was the first person I bought a mask from in the pandemic.
Nice.
Yeah, he was my first mask purchase. I still have those masks. I love them. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to the Geek Beast. We have no follow show today. Tomorrow's happy hour. It may be a little late because I have to go to the office tomorrow and I have to come back in. But I hope to see y'all there. Bring your drinks and come and have a good time with us. Peace.